everybody. It's Alisa Murray here with another Martini Talks, and we're doing it this way on this Zoom stuff. Zoomity, zoom, zoom, zoom. Thank you for being here today. I have my good friend, Dr.Briley. She is right here. There she is with her Martini. Cheers to you. It's a chilly morning in Houston, Texas, and it's good to see your beautiful face. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. What about you?
I'm doing great. I spent a lot of time in the garden yesterday. Got a lot of stuff put in, and got those tulip bulbs going in this week. So I'm so excited about this spring, all those babies coming and all those gorgeous tulips for photos. It's going to be so much fun. So talk to me and tell everybody what you do, what you're doing, what you're about. Kind of give us tell me all about you. I already know, but tell everybody about you.
Well, I'm 5'4". No, I'm joking. I like to have a good time, but a little bit more about me is that I'm a philanthropist. I did write a book.
Right.
I wrote a book. We'll talk about that today, but I also am a UN Peace Ambassador for St. Croix. So I do a lot of different work, community stuff, community involvement, and it kind of came about with everything like this. Yeah. COVID-19 and Harvey and Houston and just a lot of things happening constantly around the world.
So this is interesting, and one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on the show, you did what a lot of people have been doing, and you've been staying at home like we've been doing, and you, at the time that this hit, you were launching your book, which was like about the worst time in the universe to have a book. It's like, how did that even, like, what did you do? I would have been like,
Yeah, it was super crazy. So basically, finished the book. Finally, you know how people always talk about they're going to, on their bucket list, write a book. So I written a book and finished it. And I released it kind of like second week of February. So the everything started shutting down about, right after spring break. So it's kind of like the second week. Yeah, I had like a month, but it was the month that I had was the month of, yay, I did it. And making all the bookings and making all the signing engagements. And I had tons of signing engagements, tons of churches and various community places, new spots that were opening up that I actually had book signings at.
Right.
And so to get all of those gigs and then to have to cancel all of those gigs was like, it was like kind of, yay, you have your fame and then it's like, oh. So it was an amazing time, but it actually got me more in tune to talking to people that I never talked to this way.
Right.
So, even when you launch a book in a situation like this, you still can be very successful. And so that's kind of where we are today, with the book. It's done really good. It's on Amazon. It's Barnes and Noble. And so I just had to find a way to do a spin on it, doing virtual signings, which was something that was super crazy, but super fun. And actually getting a chance to meet a lot more people this way.
I found that too. It's like, I'm used to, and we've talked about it before, I'm used to people coming in to see me for photography and then they're booking their vacations and I'm sending them off on vacations or they need me to help them sell their house or whatever. But this is really, and I work from home, I always have. So I've always got people coming. Well, I don't have people coming, but you can be so much more efficient when you work from home if you know how to do that, which people were fussing about. But now they figured out my little secret about you don't have to do anything but just roll out of bed, put my wig on my head and go to work, right?
Right.
Now that you've got Zoom and the ability to do virtual meetings, you can really touch a lot of people, a lot more people in a day than you could have trying to schedule meetings and go to lunches and schedule a point. It's just
more efficiency.
Way more efficient. So I'm going to have everything for you guys to buy the book and I'll link to all of the stuff, ways to do that, also in the episodes below. So talk to me about the book. What's the book about?
Well, it's about, and actually it's a great time to talk about this topic during COVID when you happen to be locked up with your spouses, but it's, do you want cake or crumbs in your marriage? So, also too, I didn't much talk about this, but I am a therapist in human services for people, where it deals with human interaction with individuals. So, you know, to come out with a book during this time in COVID and you're kind of being locked up with whoever, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, it can be a lot. But this book really talks about infidelity, and it talks about it in a different type of way. It talks about social media infidelity. It talks about just communicating with someone that can turn into infidelity. So it touches a little bit about that, but it, you know, it's things that, you know, a lot of times people say it's taboo. They really don't talk about it in churches, or they don't, you know, they just pray about it, sister, you know, and just you'll get over that hump, that rough patch. Oh. But but they don't really get into, you know, a little bit about it, about how that person might feel that has been betrayed. So
so it's about betrayal and recovery.
Betrayal and recovery. Which, you know, part of life.
The new venues of, instead of finding your man, picking up somebody, some trashy hoe over at the bar or on a business trip in Vegas, you're catching them on Facebook or some social platform.
Some social platform, because a lot of times people don't know. We call them sometimes, you know, you have your trolls on Facebook, you have your keyboard warriors that always have something to say, but if they saw the person in the, you know, and then you
they never would say it to their face.
They're never, or you have people that will create a whole different being of who they are.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know, and it's interesting, it's fun, it's exciting. And it's all of these things that your everyday life isn't. And a lot of people don't talk about that. And that's, you know, we're just in a different era, a different time of things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I must say I've been married very happily for 30 years to Brian.
Yeah.
We rode the first grade school bus together. And I think that what has glued us together is that we grew together, and all of our businesses are intermingled, and it's very much 50-50. It's dependent upon me and him to make the businesses work. There's not a situation where I can't do the job without him and he can't do the job without me. And that interdependence is what's glued not only our professional life together, making a living and supporting our family, but also the marriage, because we've got things to talk about. Interesting. Interesting that you have this at this time too, because you know what? A lot of people that I've talked to, they had their own lives. We already knew it, right? Winky face. We already knew it. They come together on Saturday and Sunday to parent the children, but really Monday through Friday, they were in their cars with their colleagues on business trips, doing their own lives, doing their own thing, right? And I've never had a husband that was away from me, you know. And there's a funny story I'll tell you. My grandmother, you know, she lived to be 102. And all of my viewers know Mama got killed when I was 8, and Nana raised me and all of that. They all know that. And so Nana told me a story one time. There was a little ukulele group. You know, we're talking about North Carolina, Virginia line, like farm. There's nobody. It's just little, you know, porches and crawl spaces and nothing to do to spend the time. And they had a little group of people that would play the ukulele stuff. Like, I don't know what else they played, but they played little things. And some women at church wanted to borrow my grandfather for something. I don't know what they were doing, another show, and didn't invite him. She told them right quick. She said, "You're not borrowing my husband for anything. He doesn't leave my sight. Everywhere we go together." And, you know, if more people would do that with their marriages, hold it sacred, less things would be going on in this world like that.
Right. And it's about boundaries. It's like having those discussions early about boundaries. And a lot of times people don't even have those discussions. They have those discussions with physical beings. Like, I don't want to see you with that person, or I don't want to see you doing these things. But they really don't have those kind of conversations about social media. They don't have those kind of conversations about different types of platforms. And I think that those, you know, it's kind of like you see someone, you fall in love with them, and you don't go into deep detail of where is that boundary. And a lot of all of this combined together with, you know, like I said, doing what I do, speaking with people and talking with people, it's just over and over again. It was the social media. It was different things that transpired. This happened or that happened. And that's where we are today. You know, it's a different type of timing, you know, for individuals.
Well, I'm just super glad that you addressed it in your book. And for my viewers, I hope that you guys take a peek at it, go ahead and order it, buy it, even for no other reason. If you're not having any problem in your marriage, and God knows we all hope and pray that you're not,
right,
for everybody. But even if you aren't, it's always nice to read about things just so you're on the up and up about all the stuff that's going on. Because I've heard all kinds of stories, all kinds, from all kinds of platforms. And it's true. It's more that now prevalent than it is. And it will be now even more so after COVID.
Right. So and I think that's why the book did good too.
The book,
because it was a great read.
Absolutely. The time of it is impeccable in terms of capturing where we all are as a society right now. So you did good, sister, on that. I'm proud of you for that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't plan that timing.
I know you didn't. You know what? Still, it's a great resource, right? And it's also totally appropriate for the times that we're living in, which is really important. Well, you're not seeing patients. You're not counseling people in person yet.
No. Actually, I have a team of people that work for me still that actually, you know, do that. I rarely, occasionally I see some of older clients that I've had. And my practice of what we do is we don't dwell on problems.
Right.
We find rebirth, like a reset, you know, and it's, once again, timing. Everything is resetting itself. So we find reset. You know, you don't come in and lay on a sofa and continue to dwell on problems and problems and problems. We speak positivity in the universe, and we try to, you know, flip that switch to, it's okay to be upset, shed a few tears, but let's
move on.
Let's get on. Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on. Let's find something productive. What do you like to do? And a lot of times what you find out is people tend to have lost themselves. And they fell off the wagon. They just can't get back up. You know, they fell off and they don't know, you know, maybe it was kids, maybe it was, you know, putting everything into one thing and forgetting about you or forgetting about what makes you happy. And so that's some of the things that you find with that's repetitive with people over and over again. They lose who they are, their identity.
You know, it's interesting. So many people have lost their identity because they've lost their jobs.
Yeah.
So you're going to find, I feel like in the next few months, if not even over the next few years, a lot of patients that may not be coming in from infidelity situations, but we've been talking a lot about it. You know, my degree's in psychology, and there's a lot of worry and concern right now about the potential for there to be a lot of mental health repercussions from what we've all gone through, because we're not meant to be not social. And isolated in our homes has done for a lot of people that normally would be okay for a week or two, but extended periods of time, it's really taken a toll on mental health for a lot of people that may have not ever had been touched by that, you know, because they're resilient, but it wears on everybody.
It really does. It does. It takes a toll on people. It, you know, and there's so many facets. I tell people, you know, they say, you know, some people need to see a psychologist. Some people need to see a counselor. Some people need to see a self-improvement coach. There's so many different facets, but it all falls under health and human services. It's, you know, at some point in your life, you're going to need some type of guidance. That's what I look at it as guidance. And so I kind of like wrapped it all in one book for marriage portion, you know, and something super simple, thin read, super simple. Because what I've learned now, even when you coach or talk to people, is people want something in small bites. They don't want, you never finish a whole book. If it's a thick old book, you don't finish it. You know, or if it's something too large, it's
unless it's the Bible, sister. If it's the Bible, you better finish the Bible, especially right now. Right? Everybody watching my show better read that Bible right now.
Right?
Not doing that yet. Now's a good time to sit in the garden and read the Bible. But yeah, no, you're right. You're so right. People take it in and they are really visual too. And so if you can give them a little tidbit, a nugget that they can use for just the moment, then they'll go back to you when they've digested that, and then they can accept more information and be able to go that route further and further and further, rather than just sit down and feel like they've got to gobble up a big old huge book. You know? Right. So, well, listen, guys, I hope that you found some value in our conversation today. Dr. Briley and I really have a lot of fun. We're kindred spirits. There's so much stuff that we've got going on between you doing St. Croce and me doing India and me in travel, and both of us in psychology, and we're artsy fartsy people, and we just really love each other. Look at that background, guys, that she's got behind her with those and my cheetah on the floor. We're really working our animal spirits today too. So anyway, listen, I hope that you guys had found some value in it. I'm going to give you all the details on how to get a hold of her and her book. You'll find that in the episode comments below. And do me a favor and like and share and ring that bell so that you're notified when we drop another episode on a Martini Talk. And listen, cheers to you, my dear friend.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being with us today. I just so appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity and time. And I love your viewers. And I love
you're so sweet, and be well.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye, darling.